Jimmy loves to pet his dog.
Hey, hope you're well. Just out photographing on the local university campus here in Calgary, University of Calgary, obviously. So thought I would do a maybe a series of videos, particularly directed at new stock photographers. And sort of the concept is various subject matters you can shoot to get a portfolio going. Sometimes it's nice to just get the ball rolling with images that are easy, locations that are easy, not too complicated, just to try to establish yourself in the market, you know, get some images uploaded, figure everything out. So I thought that would be something that might be useful, because there are not a lot of new stock photographers joining even now. So yeah, so plan is to do a series of videos on easy locations, easy concepts, easy subjects to start shooting, to get a portfolio established. And today I'm at the University of Calgary, and mostly I'm focused on architecture, and universities are typically great places to shoot. So I'm gonna get started here. I've already rocked up on my first location, which is the newly renovated business faculty building, and gonna start seeing what I can get here. And then also want to shoot some of the brutalist architecture here that was built sort of 70s 80s, so love that stuff. So I'm gonna get some of that too, but let's see what happens here, and see if I can kind of talk you through some of the things that I'm thinking about.
Hug his mom. Hug his mom.
Okay, so it is midday, so I'm limited kind of by the direction of the sun. I don't typically take too much stuff that's in shadow when I'm doing architecture. That's why it's nice to come out at blue hour. But when I'm looking at a building, I'm thinking about sort of two basic shots I like. One is head on and the other is an angle shot. So I tend to walk and look for that. One of the things to focus on is making sure that you're perfectly lined, especially in your front shot, is to make sure you're perfectly lined up in the middle, and there are cues to being able to do that properly. So in this case, I'm counting the pillars and looking at the glass panes, and I can basically line up exact center. And using the lampposts, usually you have enough clues to get right center, because it can look really weird if you're off. So being on center helps you correct or straighten your lines afterwards in post-production. So when you're straightening all your verticals and horizontals, it's just helpful if you are dead smack in the center. Because one of the differences, and I can maybe process something, but one of the differences between an accomplished stock photographer and a new photographer is often they won't correct the lines on their building. So getting your angle right when you're standing in the spot is really helpful, and that works too with the corner or the side shot. But for your front shot, you want to be exactly dead on.
Jimmy loves to walk his dog.
The other thing that you want to remember is that the closer you are to the building, typically the more you have to angle your camera up. And when you angle your camera up, you get your verticals screwed up more. They tend to fall away more, so you have more distortion, more to fix. So to the extent that you can stand back from a building and still get your shot, I recommend doing that and just using a zoom.
Loves his big black dog. His big black dog. But he's drinking out the bar.
Yeah, and then just following up on that point, because I am going to correct my angles for the most part, or my verticals and horizontals in post, I tend to zoom out a little bit more than I would. So I'm thinking about my composition. I sort of frame up and then I zoom out. I pull back a little bit because I know I'm gonna need to correct in Lightroom or Photoshop, and that tends to take away a little bit of the corners depending on how much distortion is in the image. So frame up, then sort of zoom back out a little bit, and then take a wider shot.
Every time I see him, it just doesn't feel right. How are you? broken.
Okay, then the last point I'm going to make before finding another spot to photograph is that don't forget about your foregrounds. Hopefully there's something in the environment that you can add to just sort of change your image up maybe. There's some wildflowers. They haven't really cut the grass. Maybe that's policy, I don't know. Maybe they're going for a more natural look, but there's some wildflowers growing here, so I'm going to try to see if I can get something that has maybe something in the foreground that's got some color to it, which I can juxtapose against this sort of more harsh modernist glass architecture or the cement brutalist or whatever else there is. So I always look for foreground elements to sort of give it a landscape photography feel. And yeah, I'm just going to finish up here and we're going to keep going. See, my battery's kind of getting low, so that's kind of the gist. And I'm going to show you maybe some indoors here at this same building and then keep photographing. So that's going to be the approach right now.
Clear water flowing by the waterfall, way back on the other side of school in the fall, and I knew something was with you, my friend.
Unfortunately, the big atrium is under construction, so can't shoot that, but gonna keep going. That's really disappointing. Sometimes the interior is better than the outside. Often the interior is better than the outside, so is what it is. So yeah, just shooting this building here. I think it's the education building. It's brutal style, just using a lot of the landscaping and the sort of the public infrastructure like benches, you know, the sidewalks, all as leading lines, and just to give depth and dimension. Always look for leading lines. It's one of the classic rules of photography, but for architecture, yeah, it really works well. So that's what I'm trying to do here, and what I'll be trying to do sort of around campus today. Another tip for architecture, especially in a busy environment like a campus, is try to isolate some of the buildings, make sure that people know what the subject of the photo is. And also if you're working in stock, sometimes the buyer is looking for an image of a specific spot or a specific building, specific faculty. So you want to make sure you try to isolate subjects and make sure that subjects are very clearly identifiable in the photo. All right, that's me done. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you got something out of this. Check out your local campus if you have one, because it's a great place to get better at photography and to make some stock images. See you on the next one. Thanks.